Hey, what is up, guys? It's Brendan here, and today we're going to be taking a look at 6 of the best POS systems for small business. This is a point of sale system. Essentially, when you walk into a small business, as you can see here on screen, you're going to insert, tap, or swipe, or in order to accept payments, these are the POS systems that cover both hardware and software side of things so that you can accept payments in your small business. These are some of the best companies that I have personally found to do the job, and each of them sort of serve a different type of need in the marketplace, again, depending on what type of business that you run and operate. So before we dive into things, of course, I do want to mention if you want to check out any of the companies mentioned here in today's video, you can go and check out those links down below in the video description. Of course, some of which are affiliate links, which is a great way to help out and support the channel. Without ado, let's go ahead and dive into the list. So starting and kicking things off at the number 1 spot, it should be no surprise to those of you guys who watch my channel, it is Square. Square is hands down one of the easiest point of sale companies to get started with. Now, you can also use them for a wider variety of other types of services. Again, in today's video, we're focusing primarily on point of sale systems, but a lot of these companies, at least a few of them, do also offer other services in addition to point of sale hardware, and that is something to keep in mind when you're comparing which company might be best for you. So Square services the widest variety of different types of customers or consumers and business owners looking to use point of sale hardware. They service restaurants, retail, beauty, salons, service-based businesses. They really do cater to the widest variety of different types of business owners, and due to that as well, they do have a wide variety of different types of pricing models. You can get started with them completely for free as well and only pay that processing fee, which is a super nice benefit and why I recommend Square to a lot of people just getting started, because it does have the lowest cost to entry compared to pretty much any other point of sale system out there, just because of the fact that you can even accept payments with even just certain types of iPhones as well, depending on if your iPhone is up to a certain, depending on which model you have. They also offer a card swiper as well, so you don't even necessarily need the more fancy POS hardware in order to accept payments and get started with them. Again, that's what's really nice about Square and why they're very easy for beginners just getting started, no matter where you're at in your business. Now, if you are more scaled up, they do also have more advanced solutions for you. Again, you can go ahead and get all the different hardware needs set up for your business. Again, whether you're a restaurant owner, retail, beauty, or service-based business. Now, personally, I find Square to be definitely one of the best for beauty, because a lot of other point-of-sale systems don't necessarily directly integrate with appointment software, whereas Square does also have appointments built in as well. So if you are needing to do appointments in your business, whether you're a salon or even any other type of business as well, and you need appointments, then Square can be good to integrate directly in there with the appointment scheduling software that they also have built into the Square ecosystem. In addition to that, another aspect that's really nice with Square as well is you can also set up a website with them too as well, which is free. If we dive into the pricing, now again, pricing is always subject to change, so I do want to just make that disclaimer here in this video, but they are one of the cheaper ones to get started with, again, because they do have a free version where you can sell in person or online, and you're just paying those processing fees. Now, again, these processing fees can be cheaper on other plans, but there's really no way about getting around processing fees in today's day and age. It is just something that you have to face no matter which software or company you decide to go with. So that is something to just bear in mind. Now, again, they do also offer other services such as like invoicing, payroll, email marketing. Some of these are additional add-ons that you may need or don't need, but that is just something else to consider when you're looking at, different point of sale systems and companies. Again, processing fees will vary depending on whether it's processed in person, online. Again, it just depends. But the main reason why I put Square at the top spot here too is just because they do cater to the widest variety of business owners. Again, restaurants, a lot of small coffee shops or small businesses that maybe have lower volume do tend to start out with Square. And again, you can always scale up in the future, which is nice as well. Again, they do cater to a variety of different types of restaurants within there as well. Again, not getting into all the specifics here. If you want to learn more, again, you can check out the links down below in the description if you want to learn more about each of these different point of sale companies. Again, Square also has retail and services based businesses that you can also use them for. So that's Square. Again, you can get started with them for free. It's why I recommend them to the most people. Moving in at number 2, we have Toast. Now, Toast is hands down one of the best for restaurants specifically. Now, if you aren't a restaurant owner, feel free to continue to skip through the video, or maybe go check out Square or some of the other companies we're going to be getting into a little later in this video, because Toast is just exclusively for restaurants. So if you're not a restaurant owner, you have to look elsewhere. But if you are a restaurant owner, Toast, and from my own personal experience, is one of the most popular restaurant-specific point-of-sale systems. They really are scaling up for larger-based businesses. A lot of larger businesses that have multiple different locations. They have more staff members. That's where Toast really comes into play. They're a bit better at that higher scale and higher level of volume of restaurants. Again, if you have a good amount of staff, if you have, a good amount of employees. They do have starter kits as well if you're under 10 employees, but if you are looking to scale up and you do have more locations beyond just maybe a singular location, that's where Toast can really benefit your business in a way that really Square is maybe just not as well equipped for. Typically, in my own experience, I typically see, larger businesses using Toast, or, small to mid-size, but just businesses that are maybe a bit more beyond just that singular location, or again, if they do have a bit more staff beyond just a small team. Now, not to say that you can't use Toast for a small team. You can also use Toast for a small team as well. They do have starter kits. We can take a look at that here. As you can see, again, if you do want to check out Toast, there are links down below. But they do have starter kits that you can get for your business, again, if you are starting out just smaller, and then you can always plan on scaling up. The only thing to bear in mind with them is that they are a bit more expensive in terms of their overall pricing model than what you would expect with Square. It just depends, right? So the starter kits can be $0 a month, but you're just a bit more limited in terms of, what you get with that. So you get a terminal, and they, you get the terminal out there. Again, it's ideal for single location restaurants. And then you have, scaling up, you have their more point of sale or also custom pricing in terms of other options that you have. Again, they are a little bit more expensive, but, for the money, you do get a more robust product that's really focused, again, on just restaurants only. And that's where the focus is really nice, again, because the thing with Square is that they really cater to everybody. So at the same time, it's like, yes, you can use them, but if you are a bit more advanced beyond like the typical type coffee shop or single location food service business, then that's really where Toast, again, kind of fits in the marketplace. If you're going beyond just like a single pop-up tent and you're selling barbecue. If you're going beyond that, beyond like a single little location at like a food truck fair or something like that, Toast is really, again, built for those more established restaurants that need more data, need more scalability for more staff members. That's really where Toast kind of fits in my opinion. Again, if you want to check them out, they do have a free demo that you can get started with. Again, links are down below in the description. Again, they service all different types of restaurants. If I didn't mention that already, of course, you got full service, fine dining, food trucks, quick service, and the list goes on here. Again, I do recommend them a lot to different restaurants. Again, a bit better for maybe a little bit more established brands. Maybe if you kind of are looking to go to that next step. Maybe if you already had been using Square. Moving on, next in this list, at the number 3 spot, we have Shopify. Now, Shopify is my personal favorite for retail POS. Again, this is specifically really just for those retail point of sale companies. If you are a retail business, if you sell clothes, physical products, if you have a website, if you're looking to start an e-commerce store, Shopify is hands down the best all around for that. And they also have Shopify point of sale. So if you are setting yourself up with a brick and mortar store or even pop-up shops as well, you can use them for that if you're going to maybe have your e-commerce store as your main focus. And you haven't already started with, again, Shopify does have a free trial. You can get started with, again, links down below in the description. But Shopify, I really recommend primarily for those businesses that have e-commerce as their main focus. Again, selling online is your main business model. And then you maybe are looking to expand into physical retail locations, or maybe, again, if you're doing those little pop-up shops, that's where Shopify POS and their point of sale hardware can come into play. Again, if you are a retail store, that's really all they're focused on. They don't do restaurants really. Some people have, there are some apps that you can kind of use to make it work, but not really recommended in my opinion. I would say stick to Shopify for retail point of sale. And selling, again, having inventory, right? So being able to streamline your inventory management, and then you have everything tied to for your website, and you're doing your online sales as well as your in-store sales. You can separate things out in your analytics. I'd say the back end of Shopify analytics is also very detailed and very nice to use. So again, I would recommend, Shopify point of sale. They do have their hardware. It is pretty affordable as well. Again, really the Shopify POS system is just hands down the best for retail specifically. Again, if you're selling those products online and you're looking to sell in person as well, that's where Shopify makes the most sense. If you are getting started with them, it probably makes sense to start with creating a Shopify website first and foremost, and then later you can scale up to a point of sale system. But maybe if you're even just starting completely from scratch, but you have products, or maybe you're looking to do like a migration, you can talk to their sales team as well, get a free trial and then talk to their sales team to help you with the migration sort of thing. If you are, coming into it with a bit of products, a bit of inventory, you're looking to simplify things, that's where Shopify can also come into play too. They have the highest converting online checkout. So again, it just really makes a lot of sense if you are going to be selling online as your primary business, and then also doing a little bit of retail on the back end. And maybe, again, certain expos, fairs, things that you're going to be going to in person. And then you can just get yourself set up with that little, the little chip here, through Shopify to accept those card payments in person. So, you can actually check out and then see, okay, how does your retail compare to your online sales? Being able to accept payments in person. And that's really where Shopify POS comes into play. Overall, just using Shopify in general, highly, highly recommended for retail businesses. They're definitely the best for retail. Moving on, next in this list, we have Lavu. Now, Lavu is fairly similar when it comes to comparing restaurant point of sale systems. So they are just focused around restaurants, just like how Toast is, again, only focused on restaurants. Lavu is also only focused on restaurants. So if you're a restaurant owner, then, continue watching the Lavu. Otherwise, continue and skip later in the video if you're not a restaurant owner. But Lavu essentially does a lot of the same things that Toast does as well. So it is worth comparing the two. Now, Lavu does also have a free demo that you can get started with. The thing that's nice about Lavu compared to Toast is they're a little bit more flexible in terms of the hardware. So all you need is just an iPad, and then you can get set up with them as a POS system with using Lavu. So that's one of the things that people do like about Lavu is it is just a bit more flexible. Again, because it's just an iPad POS system versus needing to maybe necessarily get certain specific hardware from a company. So that can be a nice benefit to using Lavu. Maybe you already have an iPad or something that you're planning on using, then you could just use that for your system. Now, as you can see here, you got a little Gordon Ramsay here. He's not actually affiliated with Lavu. The reference does not imply sponsorship or endorsement, as you can see here. They had to put that little disclaimer there. But essentially, a server from Kitchen Nightmares said, our old POS system was like a dinosaur, and now it's, great with Lavu. So that's sort of their little marketing pitch there, someone from the Kitchen Nightmares show itself. But again, and Lavu, helped a struggling restaurant on an episode of Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay. So, take that with a grain of salt, but, if people say that, going from like the old school POS systems, Lavu can be an easier system to migrate to, again, just using iPads. Again, it's going to be a lot better than those like dinosaur POS systems like they're referencing here that you typically see in just like a lot of older establishments that are just really out of date. All the POS systems and companies here in this list are fairly, modern and up to date. It's just a matter of, getting onboarded into the newer systems, getting things set up. It is pretty easy to do. Of course, now in terms of Lavu's pricing, again, you can get a quote from them directly. It depends. Now, again, this pricing is always subject to change. It does depend on your specific system, but they do have a lot of, inventory, team management, loyalty programs, a lot of things that are included in those monthly fees. So that is something worth considering. Again, honestly, with a lot of these different POS systems, I would recommend just getting a quote from each of these companies directly, speaking to their sales team, because every business is different, and it's almost impossible to just create a blanket statement. Oh, this is exactly what you need. What you specifically need, you guys watching this video as a small business owner, is going to vastly differ from one business owner to another. So I'd recommend getting quotes from each of these depending on your needs. If you're a restaurant, again, retail, or just getting started. Moving on, next in this list, we have Zettle, and specifically this is PayPal. So as you can see here, this is the PayPal website. They have a POS system, and it is known as the point of sale system from PayPal is Zettle. So that's Zettle. As you can see here, the PayPal Zettle app. So this is a very easy way to accept payments for your business. Maybe you're already using PayPal in your business, creating invoices. Maybe you already use PayPal for business. Depending on your current setup, this can be a good option for you. If you're selling products, if you're already maybe using PayPal in your business, then using PayPal's POS system in the PayPal for Business suite, then it can make things a lot easier, again, because you're already on board, you already have an account with PayPal, and all you have to do is then just sign up for the system. You can also accept payments with your phone. This is new, as you can see here, contactless payments on your phone. So you can accept payments to your PayPal account directly through the PayPal Zettle app without needing any extra fees or hardware. Again, this is something that I mentioned that you can do with Square as well. Shopify does also have this set up as well. But the thing that's nice about PayPal is you're not really required to have really any kind of like monthly fee or getting set up with maybe even a new account, because again, a lot of people already have PayPal accounts. So if you do already have one, could make a lot of sense to use them. They do also have, store kits as well for setting up, inventory, taking a look at your overall, transactions and reporting. It is a bit more basic, I would say, compared to maybe some of the other point of sale systems I mentioned here in today's video. But if you want to just keep things simple, maybe depending on your volume, it might make sense to use, PayPal's Zettle program. It just depends on your business. Again, they are more flexible, so you can use them for retail or just selling any type of product as well. So that's one of the nice things about, PayPal Zettle's program. As you can see here, they're like a hay farm. So, you can accept payments for your hay or whatever it is that you sell through their program for their point of sale system. So I'd recommend giving them a shot and checking them out. Again, they are a little bit more basic than some of the other platforms mentioned here in today's video. And again, pricing does depend on what kind of hardware you're going with, but their card readers are pretty cheap compared to maybe some of the other platforms. Again, you just have those transaction fees as well. So you're not really like locking yourself in either, which is kind of nice compared to maybe some of the other platforms. Moving on, last but not least in this list, we do also have Lightspeed. Now, Lightspeed is one of the better platforms for enterprise level solutions. Again, if you have multiple locations, if you're a larger business, or one aspect in one area of business I haven't really mentioned is golf. They actually do also service golf. So if you are running a tee times and things like that, and you're going to be running a golf-based business, then Lightspeed is one of your best options there, because really that's not as serviced by pretty much any of the other point of sale systems I already mentioned here. So that's one area. Like, hey, if you're in that business, then definitely makes sense to go with Lightspeed. They also service a wide variety of other different types of industries as well. So they also service some of the more restricted industries. Not going to mention them here in this video. You can see them on screen. Some of the other retail restricted businesses that some of the other platforms just maybe don't accept, right? Or maybe aren't as apt to, accept you as a customer. That's where Lightspeed can be a good option, because they are more diverse in the different business types. Again, they also service golf. So if you're in the golf industry, whether it's private, resort, public, multiple courses, that's really a key value prop here that a lot of the other point of sale systems just don't offer either, which is nice as well. So they do service retail as well as restaurants. So they're probably the most comparable to Shopify when it comes to an actual retail point of sale system. When it comes to selling products, managing inventory, I would say Lightspeed is up there with Shopify in terms of something that's at least comparable. I still personally prefer Shopify for their e-commerce websites. But if you're looking to do, physical brick and mortar, they also do offer the e-commerce tools as well. So Lightspeed can be a good option. They do also service restaurants as well. So not just retail or golf, they also service restaurants as well. So again, you can use Lightspeed for restaurants as well, managing like inventory. You can link up with accounting and systems like that. The thing that's nice about Lightspeed is they are just very scalable, and they have a lot more advanced solutions, loyalty programs, things that might be additional charges or things that, aren't necessarily built into some of these other smaller point of sale platforms. Lightspeed is a very large company, and they do have a lot of different integrations and systems that is definitely worth requesting a quote from them or talking to one of their experts on their sales team to help you out with your business. Definitely would recommend submitting your information, giving a shot to Lightspeed. Again, links are down below in the video description if you're interested in getting a quote or checking out any of these different companies mentioned here in today's video. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful. If you did, then be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Anyway, guys, that's all for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.